Let's go. Holla ballers and a bro fist to you all, for it is Friday afternoon once again. We're back. We have returned from FanFest, which has been an extraordinary time. It was an extremely good event. So fun. Got to meet Yoshi P. Got to meet Sakaguchi, kind of. You can check the video out for all those kind of things. We threw a massive party. It was sold out. It was amazing. We got to meet many content creators and all those wonderful things. Have come back with Giga Flu. It's not COVID, though. Some people have caught COVID, but I've tested twice now. I'm good. I just have extraordinary flu. So if my voice sounds a bit ropey, you know what it is. But on top of that, we have officially concluded our Terraria Master Mode full blind playthrough. Clocking in a grand total, according to Steam anyway, 145 hours and 508 deaths. We have defeated every single boss. Yes, for those of you listening who haven't caught up, including the Daylight Butterfly Fairy Monster, which is just... That was a frustrating one. But we did it. We got there in the end. We made it work. And if you're around and you're hearing this within time, after the stream, we are, of course, having our Final Fantasy XIV Halloween housing competition. It is an extraordinary event where people all over the world put in RP. They come up with the most creative things ever. We're going to have some prizes to give away. It's going to be awesome. We might have time before it starts to slip in the extreme. I haven't done that yet. And, of course, next week is BlizzCon. So there will not be a drama time next week. I am going to be in California. I am leaving on Tuesday night. And I will be back, I think, Wednesday next week. So there will be some disruption there as I'll be off with the Team Blizzard to find out what is going on with the new WoW expansion, if you believe the leaks, which, of course, there is a WoW expansion being announced. But it should be a ton of event. It should be a ton of fun. For those of you who are going and are listening to this, I have an official meet and greet. I don't think it's been published yet, but I have an official meet and greet that Blizzard is putting on. So if you don't catch me, or you're worried about where I'll be or anything like that, to say hi. I always appreciate it. The only reason we go to these events is to really meet people and say hi to all the people who viewed us and watched us over the years. So I don't really care about the announcements. I could watch them at home. I'm really there to see people and mix with people. So if you want to catch me, there will be an official meet and greet. It'll be on the Blizzard. I'm sure they'll post it on the website or on the program or something like that. If not, I'll be all over the event. Come and say hi. It should be awesome. And on top of that, I will have a nice sit-down interview with Ian to go along the back of it, which should be great. I'll be doing that as well. So it's going to be a very, very busy few days while I'm over there, but it should be super fun, and I'm very excited for it. So that's my announcements, I think. Have I missed anything? I don't think so. Tomorrow, if you do catch this, we're opening the floodgates on knowledge for Terraria, because everybody has been amazing. The thousands of people who've watched this playthrough have held their tongues, frustratingly. Until tomorrow, the floodgates will open, and we will gain as much knowledge as we can in preparation for our hardcore run, which I'm planning to do during the Race to World First. I will be at the Race to World First. It's not been announced yet as to where and when, and well, you know the when, etc., etc. The details, anyway. But I'm planning our hardcore run then. Hopefully it'll be good. Chris has also said that I need to bring the heart rate monitor. It's here. I have to do that. To see how that goes. But that's not why you're here right now. Those are my announcements. Obviously, with BlizzCon and FanFest, there's a lot to make. Let's have some fun stories to celebrate our Friday and our achievements of today, because I've been angry today, very frustrated. I have broke some things. But it's all good. It's all good. Victory was assured. Being ill did not help, and it didn't help with the stream spamming Nyan Cat at me continuously, because I fucking hate Nyan Cat. But, you know, fun is as fun will do. I believe the kill video of the hardest fight in Terraria is full of Nyan Cat nonsense to make dreams come true. I had to kill it with that blasting in my goddamn ears, but there it is. Okay, let's have some fun. What is that title? I swear it was my cousin. Yes, if we got any new viewers to Drama Time, you can send your stories to drama@preachgaming.com. Every single person listening to this and watching this right now has played with someone online. And when you play online multiplayer, you encounter odd people, especially those who are very brave behind this shield of justice, this bulwark that they use to protect themselves from the real world, and they do very, very strange things and wonderful things. It could be anything. We always use this. We use Drama Time as both entertainment and as a warning system for signs you should be watching out for out in that wild world of the internet. So let's get started. I swear it was my cousin. As always, I go into these stories blind. They are curated by our wonderful Bex, who checks them out. So let's go. Hi, Mike. I want to tell you about a game that is not an MMO at all, but your favorite type of game, a sports game. Oh, no. Ew. This is FIFA. Oh, no, it's not. UFC Undisputed 2009 on the PlayStation 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe Bex is about to put us into the gaming category of UFC. For the first time, and probably last time in history, Preach LFW channel is about to be in the UFC gaming channel, and they are going to be very confused. They are going to be... That's not Brock Lesnar. What's going on? What's going on? It's not Brock Lesnar. I don't know why that's my voice for UFC fans. I quite enjoy UFC myself, but maybe that's my voice. Mikey, I was around 13 at this time. Despite being a huge nerd who was either playing World of Warcraft or RuneScape, back then I was still, and I still am, a UFC fan. And I played that game a shit ton after I got it, especially since the only PC I had access to was the dreaded family PC. And the family PC played games at what we'll describe pleasantly as moderate FPS. The PlayStation 3 had better performance. Ouch. Oh my. To be fair, the PS3 played like Last of Us and stuff. When they optimized that son of a bitch, the PS3 was kind of a beast. They got some good stuff out of the PS3 towards the end. I would go to my friends' houses and they'd come to mine, and I could pretty handily beat every single one in the neighborhood at UFC. You could say I was king shit. I'm king shit. That reminds me of my Mortal Kombat days where nobody would play me anymore. When I found a forum online that was running an online UFC league, which was basically just a loosely structured round-robin tournament for fun. I was eager to play people who weren't shit like my friends. I have ascended. I have ascended beyond you mortals. And the whole idea of finding a community of people who took the game seriously, oh, that's right, the friends aren't taking the game seriously, you're just not into it, was very appealing at the time. I quickly signed myself up for the UFC League and started hanging around the live chat on the forum and started playing friendly with people. As you might expect, the type of players that I found on the forum were way, way better than my friends. I will admit now, I was the only one in the neighborhood who actually owned the game. Sometimes I would take my PS3 and my copy of the game to people's houses so I could beat them and bring it home afterwards. Want to play, mate? Want to play a game, mate? You haven't even got a PS3? You haven't even got one? Yeah, mate, I'll bring mine. I'll bring mine. What we playing? No, we're not playing that. We're playing UFC. Ah, you as well shit at this game, mate. You as proper shit. Loser. Going home. Fucking clown. Coming around here. Trying to use my PS3. Fucking shithouse. Get out. Anyone that wasn't also completely new like me could absolutely wreck me. They were way better players in the striking part of the game and on the ground. I didn't even understand the mechanics, and my opponents could do whatever the hell they wanted to me. I felt so abused when I played online. I made a couple of friends in the forum's live chat, and they started to help me get a little better, at least at not getting beaten so quickly. I could land a few shots on the feet, and my defense was mediocre, but at least I technically existed for a while. Sounds like me versus some Terraria bosses. My ground game, however, was atrocious. But I started to learn not to panic so much because I would deplete your fighter's stamina and make it easier for them to get knocked out or submitted. Or so I thought I learned. When my first official league fight came around, I was a nervous wreck. Genuinely, I remember sweating before the game started. On top of being a scrub, I had come late and the league had each player lock in one fighter that they would use. And in order to maintain the immersion of a real UFC tournament, you were not allowed to use the same fighter. I ended up with future Breaking Bad actor Keith Jardine, who also had the best nickname, the Dean of Mean Keith Jardine. It rhymes. That works. But despite his awesome nickname, he was, let's just say, middle tier in the game and had an official low rating. That sucks, right? You finally get yourself, you as a human being, into a video game for your accomplishments in life. And the fucking devs give you shit stats because you're bad. That's so mean. That's really mean. You're like garbage. I mean, all the football players in the world who are in FIFA must also have that, right? It's like your stat card is fucking trash. Can't run. Falls over as soon as he gets the ball. Can't aim for shit. My opponent, Deset, however, was playing Mauricio, Shogun Rua, who was either a champion in real life or had been recently, and was a much, much higher rated fighter than mine. Deset was also a guy with a reputation on the forum for being extremely good at the game. I knew I was fucked. I knew I was done. I added Deset to the PSN network because our IDs were in our forum signatures, and we never messaged or anything, but I sent him an invite one night when I saw him online and in-game. When the fight started, though, I was surprised. I was doing pretty well. The fight had been entirely on the feet for the first 2.5 minutes. Rounds are 5 minutes long and fights are 3 rounds unless it's for the championship, which this wasn't. And I had been winning the fight up until the point, in my own head at least. Deset had done a good job blocking almost anything I threw at his head, but I had managed to connect with a few kicks and punches to the body and several leg kicks too. Deset dodged a couple of my offensive attacks and countered with his own punches, but I thought I was up at least double the amount of strikes landed so far. Deset blocked one of my light jabs, but I had only thrown it with no follow-up, so I was able to step back out of the kick to the body he had thrown to counter me. It left him wide open to anything I wanted to do. This was my chance, and I decided to cash in big time. I threw a huge kick aimed directly at his unprotected head. Only, in my haste and nervousness, I forgot to take into account the fact that I had just stepped back to dodge his attack, which itself had decent range. And so, even in the virtual world, just as I would IRL, my kick whiffed like a windmill and left me basically bent over with the soap on the floor. I didn't even get a chance to defend the takedown that Deset chose to respond with. My best case scenario had turned into a complete nightmare as I started to pretend to squeal like a piggy. Deset immediately made it worse by passing my full guard and going into half guard. Full guard is having both legs free and around your opponent. Half guard is having only one leg trapped by your opponent. I was nervous before and during the fight, and as soon as this happened, I was devastated. All Deset had to do was not allow my desperate attempts to force a stand-up or get at least him back to full guard, which quickly drained all my stamina to being basically empty. When Deset attempted a submission, my stamina was too low to defend it, and my character gave up. Almost immediately after he had taken me to the floor. I felt like I was winning for over 2 minutes of the fight, and yet I had lost my submission at 3 minutes and 2 seconds of the very first round. I immediately just rage quit, switched off my PlayStation, and lay in bed to go to sleep. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Aww. Oh, I'm going to bed. I've had enough and I'm going to bed. That's really sad. This raging 13-year-old, I'm going to bed. I've had enough. UFC's a shit game. I slept all the way till the next day, and I was crushed the moment I opened my eyes. But I couldn't help myself. I immediately logged into the forum to go to the matchup post where we were expected to report the results of our fights. Sure enough, there it was. Deset's post was one of the most recent. Deset beat Arthur 3 minutes and 7, round 1. He then put at the end of it, "Good fight, man!" exclamation point. All that was left to do, as per the rules, was to confirm it. I thought just writing Arthur confirmed would do the trick, but being kind of dumb and pretty emotional about the whole thing, I decided to try and make a play. You're gonna lie, aren't you, and say he's full of shit? You gotta lie. I didn't lose. I won. I remember. I was there. I totally won. You are full of shit. I remembered that we had never messaged or anything and had just joined a game. Oh, you're gonna say it wasn't you? And had just joined a game and started playing. And I also remembered that I had lied on my forum introduction post saying I was 18 years old. So instead of replying the confirmation to Disset's completely factual, 100% accurate post, my first reply was the age-old 3 question marks. A tale as old as time, my friends. The 3 question marks. The 3 question marks of confusion. I then typed, bro, bruh. I was at work last night. What do you mean? Did you play my cousin? Because he, uses my account, pretty regularly, bro. And he did say he had played some games with some of my mates. But they used, lame strategies. So he stopped playing against them. How do you even lose? Oh, this was really long. You typed all this, you dick. How do you even lose by submission in, the first round anyways? Unless you just, completely spam some noob buttons and run yourself out of stamina? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Does that sound like somebody you would sign up to a tournament, mate? I don't think so. I have to admit, guys, I thought my post was pretty clever. And might get me a second chance. Unfortunately, though, Deset, however, wasn't 13, or had an IQ that wasn't in the negative numbers, or maybe even unlike myself, both. I quickly pointed out that if it wasn't me, then how did I know how he won? That's a good point. Yeah, oof. Fucking clown. How did I win? And also, how did I know that it was the fight last night? I'll be honest with you, listeners. I didn't have a response. My entire plan and thought process had ended when I typed out my post. I knew I didn't have a leg to stand on, though. Someone else in the forum mentioned I'd been in the forum chat a good bit since I joined, and had never once mentioned a cousin who played on my account. Or come to think of it, I had never once mentioned anything about work either. Now, I took pause at this point. Should I double down? I sat looking at the forum thinking of several really witty rebuttals. Ways of trying to get out of it, but I ultimately, even at 13, I realized I was giga-fucked. I also dawned on me I would probably get my ass kicked in a rematch anyway. I was so embarrassed. Instead of typing a reply, I deleted everyone from the forum from my PSN friends list and stopped going there entirely. I also stopped playing the game not too long after that and started moving to a different game under a different online handle. Oh, no. What makes it worse, though, is the game I decided to replace UFC with was Fat Princess. Fat Princess? It was a cartoony but bloody class-based capture the flag game where you could change your class almost any time, even mid-fight. Okay, there are people in the chat who know what Fat Princess the game is. It would become one of my all-time favorite games, and I've been sleeping on Fat Princess, and I would eventually discover a relatively healthy online community for the game, and kind of make an arse of myself there too, but I'll tell that story another time. You fucked up in the Fat Princess community? Jesus Christ. Thank you for reading, Mike. And a note from Bex. Here's some Fat Princess gameplay. Okay. Well, this will be for our live audience more than anything, or our VOD watchers. Let's have a look at Fat Princess. Oh, it looks fine, actually. Yeah. Okay, it's, what game would we describe this as for our audio listeners? It's like a little RTS. It's like a very cartoony-looking RTS. I don't think it's tower defense. It looks a bit like a MOBA, honestly. It looks a bit like a MOBA, but, like, it's got princesses and fairies in it. A bit like Warcraft Rumble. Yeah, it looks like an old-school Warcraft Rumble. MOBA before MOBAs. Flash of WoW. I mean, it's on the PS3. And you get little upgrades and crossbows. Alright, it looks fine, honestly. Like, the name's terrible, but, like, we'll allow it. We'll allow it. It doesn't look absolutely horrendously awful. Oh shit, I just closed drama time. Okay. Mike, you have to read this one. Okay. Bex has given me a note here. That, apparently I have to read this. You have to sing it. What is this? You need me to sing? It's a sea shanty. You know my voice is bad, right? Right, okay. I can pull this off. This is fine. It's called Wodin. Is this... Did Wodin actually write this? Wodins UBRS raid. Alright. I don't think there's a name in it. Okay. I'm not sure if we'll get the timbre right. We'll see. Oh, the year was 2023. How I wish I was in Orgrimmar. A tank named Wodin spammed in trade, looking for 9 more for Dracasath raid. God damn them all, I was told. We'd clear the mobs and be swimming in gold. We'd kill the boss, loot upgrades. Now I'm a broken troll with a dozen days played. The last of Wodin's UBRS raid. Wodin's group was a sickening sight. How I wish I was in Orgrimmar. There were warriors 5 when the raid begun, and my troll healer was the only one. God damn them all, I was told. We'd clear the mobs and be swimming in gold. We'd kill the boss and loot upgrades. Now I'm a broken troll with a dozen days played. The last of Wodin's UBRS raid. We battled our way to Ren Blackhand. How I wish I was in Orgrimmar. We lost 1 man, then we lost 2 more. Did I mention this raid was on hardcore? Oh no. God damn them all, I was told. We'd clear the mobs and be swimming in gold. We'd kill the boss and loot upgrades. Now I'm a broken troll with a dozen days played. The last of Wodin's UBRS raid. We found replacements and killed the beast. How I wish I was in Orgrimmar. Dracasath himself was across the tower, but to reach him took our group 2 more hours. God damn them all, I was told. We'd clear the mobs and be swimming in gold. We'd kill the boss and loot upgrades. Now I'm a broken troll with a dozen days played. It was the last of Wodin's Uber's raid. At last we pulled old Drac himself. How I wish I was in Orgrimmar. Wodin got squashed like a lump of clay, so I bubbled myself and ran away. God damn them all, I was told. We'd clear the mobs and be swimming in gold. We'd kill the boss and loot upgrades. Now I'm a broken troll with a dozen days played. It was the last of Wodin's UBRS raid. So here I sit in Booty Bay. How I wish I was in Orgrimmar. Everyone else in the raid was killed, including 12 members of my guild. God damn them all, I was told. We'd clear the mobs and be swimming in gold. We'd kill the boss and loot upgrades. Now I broke control with a dozen days played. It was the last of Wodins' UBRS raid. The end. There you go. You all died in UBRS with a 15-man raid. 12 members of the guild decimated. Oh, Jesus Christ. How the hell do 15 of you wipe in UBRS? Did you get feared? It was probably the fear, right? All died to Drakisath. Jesus Christ. No encore. No encore. Let me go through this. I need to go through it as the story, though. Okay, so you had a group of raid members. You were looking for 9 more. Yeah. And you were the tank. So I assume this wasn't Wodin. This is Wodin's replacing our author's name. There were 5 warriors in the raid. And you were solo. My troll healer was the only one. Did you say you bubbled? You must have been a paladin, right? Huh. My troll healer was the only one. Now I'm a broken troll. Didn't you say you bubbled later? Or maybe you meant Hearthstoned. 1 person died to Ren Blackhand, and then 2 more died afterwards. Okay, so you lost 3 people during Ren... How the hell do you die during Ren Blackhand? How's that even possible? Like, nothing happens there. We found... So you got replacements after Rend. You killed the beast with no issues. It took 2 hours to get from the beast to Drakisath. That's like, what, 5 trash packs? You do have the ones in Drak's room, though, which can be a pain in the ass. Yeah, they can be a pain, that group. The tank died immediately. Oh, the tank put... Okay, so Wodin got squashed like a lump of clay. So the tank pulled Drak and the 2 elites and just died. As soon as they pulled Drak, the tanks tried to... I guess he tried to solo tank Drak and the 2 elites. Doof. Either that or the off-tanks didn't pull off or something. It doesn't sound like they were kiting one of them. Yeah, so he's a priest. So he cast shield on himself and ran away and let everybody else die. So the healer dipped immediately. They must have been going like 1 tank, 1 healer... 13 DPS, something like that. Just trying to... yeah. So, as soon as the tank died... I mean, fair play. As soon as the tank died, the priest was like, bye. I am out of here. I am gone. And just... Even your guildies. You abandoned all your guildies. Like, none of the other warriors could put a shield on and taunt or what? Yeah, that healer, he just dipped. He just ran immediately. Tank dies, mass run away. Oh my god. Okay, I've just seen a big picture of a rat. I've just seen a very large image of a rat. Alright. Spoilers. Spoilers. I've just seen a very large rat image. The last game. Alright. We need a guild name. Ladies and gentlemen of our live audience, we need a guild name. The star of our show will be Braggart. The Rat Jam. Scatters Rat Gang. We'll go with the Rat Jam. Emma, could you close the door, please? Alright, we'll go with the Rat Jam. Thanks, Em. Okay, here we go. Mikey, hello, and the team, and of course, the very honourable chat that is with you today. Hello. Thank you for all the entertainment over the years, especially during the COVID times, as drama time was on loop in my lonely apartment to keep me sane. The Raid Manifesto, Gianluca, all my favourites. I also now have the tendency to believe that everyone around me is guilty. You've given me a very pessimistic outlook on life. Wow. Yeah, that's not quite the strategy we were going for, but... Alright. So thank you for that. Anyways, I'm writing to you from the soon-to-be wet city of Seattle, Washington. Hello. And today I wanted to share with you all my early misadventures into the world of MMOs and the first ever real drama that started to tear my gaming apart. No wonder there's rats coming up. I see it. Ladies and gentlemen, will you cast your mind back to late 2005? So that's vanilla World of Warcraft. That's pre-Guild Wars and FF14, I think. I can't remember the release date of those two, to be honest. I had just started college. I met all kinds of cool people. A friend I met in my dormitory introduced me to the world of MMOs because he never left his room, and I was curious as to what he had been doing, and he introduced me to World of Warcraft. Who's the guy who lives in number 12? No idea. He never comes out. I'm gonna go find out. And in you went. You went into the degenerate cave that was lurking there, yes. But previous to this, my only experience playing RPGs at all was strictly single-player ones like FF and Chrono Trigger. God bless Chrono Trigger. I was rather skeptical about an online game until my friends started to describe how you could be anything you want in this world. There are no limits in World of Warcraft. I gazed over his shoulder as he leveled a druid, shape-shifting between cats and bear. I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. But I was still hesitant. 15 large, 15 green ones every month for one game. And I, a freshman in college. But then he said the words to me. The words that have no doubt sold so many people on subscription MMOs. When you play this game, you never need to buy another game again. Now, I'll be honest with you. It's not like I was buying a game every month anyway. But if the game is that good, then maybe it's worthwhile. So with all the intellect of an 18-year-old and realized my friend was absolutely correct. I sorted out my money. I convinced him to let me play on his account to test it out and create my own character. He had me play on a PvP server, as in his words, you need to hate the Horde in order to get the most out of this game. Every hour I played, he sat behind me, staring at what I would do. After looking through the character creation, seeing armor sets, I knew what I needed to be. So I made myself a human fury warrior. And to be that one person in chat, no, I did not want to be like Asmon Gold. I didn't even know him at the time. Highlights from my first few days in Elwyn Forest and Westfall involved me getting absolutely murdered to death by Murlocs, getting murdered to death by Kobolds, and then more Murlocs, with Defias and Harvest Watchers mixed in there as well. I died more times than you in Terraria. Fuck you, man. Like, you had somebody backseating you hardcore and you still died, you noob. And it's the leveling areas. You were playing on easy mode. Go fucking suck it. But it finally came to a head in Red Ridge Mountains. As I got to the bridge, I heard a sound that to this day I will never forget. Wheeze! Isn't there the wolf people near the bridge in Redridge? I don't know. It's spelled WHEEEWWWS. Wheeze! Near the bridge? I thought it was like the alpha. I forget what they're called. Oh, do you think it's the stealth sound? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's the stealth sound. Yeah. And then I laid dead in a pool of my own blood. The sound you go for with this is the crack, right? It's the that's the sound. It's not the it's the that's when you know you're really screwed. I had no idea what had happened to me or how. So, I figured the game was bugged. That's what it is. That's what it is. The game's bugged. Yeah. You got it. You nailed it. So I ran back to my corpse and tried again. Dead again. But this time, I saw him. Because he stood on my corpse. And then he disappeared. An undead rogue standing over me. I wasn't camped for too much longer, but it left an impression on me. I needed to buy this fucking game. If only to kill that son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. I decided it would be a good idea to spend some of next year's tuition I'd been saving. Now, when you say good idea, is that the, like, commercial Wii, or... I decided to leverage some of the tuition I had been saving for next year from my student loan money and bought the last game I would ever play. Or so I thought. I installed World of Warcraft and found out it didn't work on my college laptop. The onboard graphics card wasn't good enough. So, I went back into my student loan money. I'm so fucking depressed right now. I'm so fucking depressed right now. I'm so fucking depressed. And replaced my laptop. I've got the game now. What am I not gonna play it? I'm not an idiot. It's not like I'm not going to play the game now I've bought it, right? That's totally nonsense. Of course I'm actually going to play the game. Are you stupid? So now I've got to buy this. I realized I needed dial-up because my college blocked gaming on their internet. And found out if you wanted to access unapproved websites, you had to get your own internet installed into the dorms. Why? In my university halls, we had a shared account that you all chipped into. We had broadband, but like you all like chipped in £3 a month between all of us and we all shared it. I mean, it wasn't fast between all of us, but it was fine. How's his friend playing it? He's got dial-up. This guy's a fucking WoW nerd. He's already got his shit. Proxy VPNs. I mean, we're talking 2005. NordVPN and shit are not flying around on the advertisements. So I bought that. Once again, from my student loan money. But... and then I went to work. This time, I was smarter. I had the edge. I could game this time. I knew exactly what class I needed to play to have the upper hand on a PvP server. So, I knew where I was going and made myself a Night Elf Rogue. Yeah, there we go. This time, though, this time, things would be different. No longer would I be the one lying face down in a pool of blood. I would be the one creating those pools of blood. Instead of Murlocs this time, though, I died in many, many new and interesting ways. In Teldrassil, I somehow managed to fall off it twice. Once on the north end and once on the other end. I was also ravaged in the Druid Barrow. Seriously, fuck that place. But it was worth it to enjoy the sights and music of Darnassus. In Darkshore, I died to Murlocs, so I guess things weren't that different this time. But I died less. And as I made it all the way to Ashenvale, I continued to improve. During this time, my friend actually helped me out and invited me to run the Dead Mines, which lasted 3 hours. Wow. That is a real 2005 experience. 3 hours Dead Mines? That's retro as fuck, dude. Don't trust all these people playing classic and stuff now. They're scammers with all their buffs and shit. That's not how we played. We wiped a few times, but it was the most amazing experience of my life. It was also so cool to be able to lockpick a treasure chest for the party. People were relying... oh, bless you. People were relying on me to get their loot. Oh. I continued to level and made my way to Stone Talon, where the harpies ate me alive. Then Desolus, where I felt like I slaughtered hundreds of centaurs because that is the only type of quest I found in the fucking place. Original Desolus. Never forget. Never forget original Desolus. Oh, good shit. I was getting bored. So I decided to ask my friend where I could go instead. And he suggested Stranglethorn Vale. I moved on over to there, where I slaughtered hundreds of trolls for their ears. You would think each troll would have 2 ears, but they seem to be mysteriously lacking ears after I'd gone to work with them. Okay. Sure. But after being corpse camped by Wodins, being a rogue didn't seem to actually make much of a difference to me getting killed by gankers. I decided to make my way to Arathi Highlands, where I got corpse camped again by the Horde. To be fair, there might have been BGs by 2005. Was it 2005 or 2006 when BGs came in? I think it was 2005. But the only PvP in the game before BGs was open world ganking, so yeah, you rolled on a PvP server. Every zone I went to, I was corpse camped. I grew tired, weak. I didn't know how much more of this game I could push forward in. But I knew I was so close to being able to have a mount. And then no one would be able to catch me and kill me. Oh. Oh, bless you. Bless you. It seemed so cool that I would be able to ride across these vast lands on a tiger. And I did it. I made it. I hit level 40. But I couldn't afford it. I didn't have enough gold. I was short 14 gold. So the only choice I had was to sell all my equipped gear to be able to afford a mount. Why? Why would that be your only choice? Why? What? I could tell you... I don't know if I've ever told this on stream, actually. Andy, who used to work here, got given his WoW account from my brother. Right? My brother got a new account, and he had an extra WoW account that had on it a level 60 paladin. But it was a dwarf paladin. And Andy hates dwarves. So in order to get gold, Andy sold all the equipped gear and deleted the paladin to get the gold. Instead of like killing like 5 mobs, which would have netted more gold at level 60, he just deleted it. My brother's face, he was like, dude, it took me like 6 months to level that character. You could have killed like 5 things and had more money than doing that. I think that's how he got his mount money. I think that's how he did it. He's like, fuck it, deleted it. In hindsight, this was a mistake. I realized I had just enough to get the mount, but I was too poor for skills, replacement gear, or anything else. And I gave up on the character. To this day, that character sits on my account at level 40. Or whatever its corresponding squished level is now. What would you do? You would go and kill some lower level stuff that you could kill, right? Especially as a rogue, because Eviscerate... I mean, you didn't know this. I forgive you, by the way. You wouldn't know this. But Eviscerate didn't scale with gear. So you could, in principle, kill some reasonably low-level mobs just to get some basic drops. You could probably fix it in about an hour, I think. Softlock? You're not softlock. Not on a rogue, anyway. No, you still get combo points from... ooh, can you not get any combo points? Ooh. You could definitely punch some stuff to death, like level 20 stuff. You could absolutely do that. And get some really basic weapons. Even greys and shit would drop. That would work. Yeah, you could totally do it. Yeah, you'd be fine. I could fix that in about an hour, I think. Oh, pickpocket mobs? Yeah. Level 1 daggers are fine for eviscerate. Yeah, you just need something. It take about an hour to fix that situation. But, that's also with me having, 15 years of game knowledge. I imagine if I was the same, I would just give up as well. But also, I wouldn't have sold all my equipped gear. But then again, as we've seen with the student loan decisions, maybe weren't the smartest man there, right? You know, maybe not at the time. Was not running on all cylinders. Okay. I was too poor and I gave up. My studies actually picked up at school and I couldn't be fucked to deal with dial-up internet, so I didn't play much for the rest of my time at college. I did, however, make a brief foray into the Burning Crusade. Money was tight by this time, as I had spent so much of my loan. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I didn't think I could actually afford to buy the Burning Crusade. However, oh no. There's always a way. This is how burglary starts, man. There's always a way. However, while sitting with my friends at lunch, one of them made a statement he was quite proud of. I bought the Burning Crusade, but seeing as I have an addiction, I threw it away before installing it. This is where it might seem really dark. All of the friends at the table all celebrated, hugging him, and said how proud they were that he had made such a good decision to avoid his addiction. I, however, asked him which garbage can he threw the box in. Oh, I'm blessed, though. I mean, I'm really proud of you for kicking your habit. I really am. I'm just curious, where exactly did you put the drugs? I know, cocaine is a hell of a thing, and I'm really glad. So you bought some, but you didn't take it. You threw it away. That's awesome. Proud of you. But where did you throw it exactly? Where is that? I'm not proud of this moment, Mike. But he took me back to his dorm room, and I rooted through his garbage can. But in there I found a fresh copy of the Burning Crusade. I can almost... It's not in the story, but I can almost guarantee there was some spaghetti on that motherfucker. I can almost guarantee there's some spaghetti on that bitch. It's college students. There's absolutely some spaghetti on that box. It's a total spaghetti box. Money saved, it's a win. To be fair, there's nothing wrong with the game. If someone said they just bought a brand new game, if we were pre-digital and it was just there in the bin, I'd be like, well, I'm having it then. Fuck that. I made myself a Draenei Shaman. Got into level 44 before I gave up on the game that time. You're so poor. The pattern continued on for quite a while, never really quite reaching the level cap in any of the expansions, besides Wrath of the Lich King, because Lich King is fucking awesome. Alright. Vanilla, I got a level 40 Night Elf Rogue. The Burning Crusade, I got a level 44 Draenei Shaman. Wrath of the Lich King, a level 55 Gnome Warrior, followed by, of course, a Death Knight to 80. Cataclysm, I re-rolled again to a level 62 Orc Hunter. I gave up trying to hate the Horde. They were clearly the superior side. True. I had a problem, though. I realized looking back that I never really stuck with the game too long because I could be a bit shy. I would play World of Warcraft like it was a solo adventure RPG. I rarely ran dungeons or tried out any raids. I'd just level a bit and then quit. When I got my Dwarf Death Knight to 80 in Wrath, I didn't know what else to do, so I just stopped the moment the level 80 popped up on my screen. Well, game over. Where's the credits? This game's well shit. Not even rolling any credits? What a load of crap. It wasn't until 2013 that I started to become more social. But it wasn't in World of Warcraft, you see. World of Warcraft was too stressful, intense, brutal. But another game that piqued my interest for very different reasons and was also touted as being very much more open and social and friendly was Final Fantasy XIV. The idea that I could be a dragoon, like an actual Giga Chad Kane Highwind, was a dream come true. I was approached by an FC recruiter and joined the small FC. We did dungeons and eventually ran Castrum and Praetorium, which were much harder back in the day. Not like you faced it, Mike, on easy mode. What the fuck, man? Okay, there's too much bashing of me in this story, right? Every time something happens to you, you just fucking, like, shit all over me for some reason. Like, I've done something. Like, what's going on? Or it seemed that way anyways. However, I eventually had to give FF up because my internet connection had too much lag. I couldn't keep up on Titan Extreme. Ha! You little bitch. As I continually get knocked off the ledge, though I'd swear I was out of the telegraphs. Yeah, that's what it was. Blames the lag. Yeah, classic. It was a lag issue. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a lag issue. Yeah. Dragoon. Classic. Snapshot, that's what it is. I'd also win the award of the only person to be kicked from groups because I didn't do enough DPS in Amdapur or Wanderer's Palace. And it made me think the FF14 community wasn't as nice as people were saying. Aww. Sad. Kicked in a dungeon, Omega lol. I had nowhere else to go and didn't know what else to do. To be fair, and I'm saying this because you've insulted me several times, you sound like you well shit. So fuck off. Do us all a favour, right? Do one. Back to Chrono Trigger with you. You sound like you're proper shit. Plus, I was an unemployed poor, and I couldn't really play an MMO that required money. Ah, good. Spare us. Spare us your presence. However, oh no, there's always a however. However, I found an MMO that didn't need a monthly subscription. It was like a dream come true. It was a brand new one called Guild Wars 2. And I knew that this would work for my broke ass. Now that I've been in a free company, I knew a guild wouldn't be as scary as I first thought. And I joined the first one that whispered me. The Rat Jam. The Rat Jam was a guild that was farming champions in Queensdale and were answering questions that I had in Zone Chat. So they invited me. I met their leader, the prestigious Braggart, the king of the Rat Jam, who asked me what my IRL name was because he ran the guild like a family. Oh, you can fuck off, creep. Fucking creeping Jesus Braggart's turned up. Here he is, fucking sandals and all, looking to fucking break bread and share wine. Piss off. Yeah, Ultimate, we don't work on gamer names here. I thought this sounded really cool. So I obliged and entered into the Rat Jam family. I learned so much during this time, not just about Guild Wars, but running dungeons, PvP, theory crafting, and fighting world bosses. It was a great experience for me, and I felt it finally went from being a casual. I finally went from being a casual to a hardcore MMO gamer. I was so welcome in the Rat Jam family that a few months in, I became an officer and decided I would do my best to help others feel welcome. I organised events like World Boss Trains, bounties, and games of hide and seek. Okay. When a member of the guild needed help, I was there. I was like Batman in the Rat Jam. Things were looking up, and I was so happy in my gaming journey. But this is not happy fun time, is it, Mike? No, we are in drama time. And my fun was coming to an end. King Rat himself, Braggart, our guild leader, started to grow distant. He had decided to focus on a legendary and found a group of people to farm dungeons with that were not members of our guild. To those who don't know, back in this time, the Legos required a ridiculous amount of time investment. Not only were the materials difficult to come by, But you needed an exotic drop that would be a precursor for the legendary. Yeah, I had that. I think I accidentally sold it, and everyone was really pissed. But to be fair, I didn't know what it was. So, ignorance can be an excuse sometimes. It does happen. So, you could either farm it or spend anywhere from 500 to 1500 gold, depending on the weapon you wanted. Gold in Guild Wars 2 was hard to come by. Yep. But have you tried installing OBS? Because that's the thing. And so Braggart and his farming team were going at it every single day to gather the resources, to get everything they needed for their legendaries. Meanwhile, 2 officers began leading lots of PvP events for the guild and were teaching others about PvP. I spent a huge amount of time with them. And though I didn't care for PvP too much, I'm not sure if it was because of PTSD from the corpse camping I suffered in World of Warcraft, I still had fun hanging with the squad. But the disinterest King Braggart seemed to have for anything other than his grind for his legendary began to rub people the wrong way. Braggart stopped showing up for guild events. Stopped showing up, including to the big PvP tournaments. And the 2 officers had had enough of foe running the guild. One day, while I was slaying world bosses, I received the message in the pink. It was pretty clear and to the point. Mutiny was on the agenda. I hopped into TeamSpeak and connected with the officers. Author, we are forming a new guild. A PvP-focused guild. We are done with the Rat Jam. But why? We can be in multiple guilds in this game. I get why having a PvP-focused guild would be cool, but we don't have to split away from the Rat Jam. We're a family. Oh, but we do. Oh, but we do. Like Game of Thrones has shown us, a child king never works out. And we need to move on from Braggart. No hard feelings if you want to stay in the guild. But we wanted to let you know before we took everybody with us. Now, I'd never seen Game of Thrones, so I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about, but I got the point. I ultimately chose to just be in both guilds, because you could, and I didn't really understand why they needed to break away. But Braggart was lost, betrayed. He didn't know what to do. He felt blindsided and frustrated. Because I stuck around, he decided that he would reward those who were loyal to the Rat Jam. And he made me second in command of the Rat Jam. But I watched the guild split in 2. It just didn't feel right anymore. I had leveled every single class, crafted ascended gear for every slot, jumped every jumping puzzle, 100%ed the map multiple times. I didn't really give a fuck for fractals, but I enjoyed playing with my friends, and they made playing this game, this family, so much fun. It deflated me. And so after a week of being second in command, I decided I'd move on to greener pastures. Somewhere that was drama-free. Somewhere safer. I was going to return to World of Warcraft. Yes! Come back. Oh, it's even worse. I decided to go to WoW instead of FF14 because their brand new expansion had just dropped, Warlords of Draenor. Dope. Yeah, dude. I'm coming home, mama. I'm coming home. It looked amazing. And my reign as second in command came to a swift end. I logged into Guild Wars 2 a few years later and found the PvP guild had died. The Rat Jam was under new leadership. There was no story or history of what happened with Braggart. I don't know where King Braggart is to this day. Did he continue playing? Did he get his legendary or did he quit? I don't know. But I will tell you by this point in my life, I'm a hardened player. I lived through Warlords of Draenor, I lived through Legion, and I've lived through FF14. I'll work on some of the more intense dramas that happened in those games, including Star Wars The Old Republic, where I spent some time. But one last thing I would like to share in this photo. Recently, and what prompted me to write this story, was that I went to the Seattle Art Museum, and I saw something that resembled you. Rat jam motherfucker. For our audio listeners, the Seattle Museum of Art appears to have what looks, at a guess, an 8-foot tall rat. How you like that, Bex? Yeah? That's right. You just got Donald Trumped. Oh, God. Okay. Immortal. Thank you so much for the story. Absolutely wonderful. And that brings us to the end of Drama for today. Lovely tales. If you have a story to share with us, we would love to hear from it at drama@preachgaming.com. Just email us in. As you can see, we'd even go as far as UFC to go on that. Oh, it's Mr. Mighty Teapot. Good stuff.